Welcome back to Restore Thrive. We are talking about shoulder strength and mobility for overhead athletes. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, being a former baseball player and trying to get myself back in shape to play baseball next year. It's something I've been putting into practice with myself and with a lot of my clients as well who are overhead athletes. So this is what we call our shoulder flexion wall slide. The idea behind this is not only do we need to work on this overhead position, getting your shoulder and your shoulder blade moving together, but we want to connect your hand to something solid as well. If you're an overhead athlete, you spend a lot of time with your hand in space, not connected to anything, and you rely a lot on your shoulder to create stability. So when we have the opportunity to connect your hand to the wall or to the ground, what we're doing is we're creating more connection and more activation through the shoulder. So the first thing we want to talk about is setup and hand pressure when we get on the wall. So the way we're going to set this up is like we were doing a wall push-up. Our hands are going to start around shoulder height or maybe a little bit below. But I want to particularly pay attention to where you feel pressure through your hands. When you're in this up or start position, I want you to imagine that your hand is like your foot. There should be a little arch through your palm. Your weight should be through your fingers and the borders of your hand. Now, when I get in this position, before I start to work into that overhead position, I want to think about pushing into the wall, and that's going to bring my back into a little more rounded position, and it also activates those muscles around my shoulder blades and gets my shoulder blades moving off my rib cage. So from here, I'm going to drop my head in my chest between my arms, and as I do that, I'm going to let my palms flatten out as I still press actively into the wall. So you can see here, my hand is a little bit flatter. I have more weight through the middle of my palm now than I did to start, and then from here I'm going to pull myself up by re-engaging and dragging myself up with my fingers and my thumb and letting that palm arch up again. So you can see here I've got a little bit of flexion through my hand, and when I drop into that overhead position, I'm losing that arch because I'm shifting and getting into that inside part of my hand and my arm. So I can work in and out of this position where I'm pushing into the wall and my palms flatten out, and then dragging myself up, pulling with my fingers, just in and out of that position, usually for an index of time of somewhere between 30 to 60 seconds. If you're doing this in the context of trying to really open up your shoulders, it's usually a good idea to do 2 or 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds to really start to warm up that shoulder girdle and work on that connection between your hands, your shoulders, and your shoulder blades. So give this one a try at home, guys. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. You can find us at restorethrive.com, or you can send us an email at info@restorethrive.com. We'll talk to you guys again soon.